Is this your water meter? I don't know. There's 3. It's unit number 3. This is the second one. It's the middle one. We've got 3 over there. So this is very difficult. This is the closest one to the house, and it's heading in that direction. And if it's not the main water meter, then this is just an exercise. It's an analog meter. We have a little diamond in here, a little red triangle. That's a flow indicator. Okay. If that's moving, it's very sensitive. It means water's moving into the house. Since I don't know if anybody's home or not, I know nobody's home here, nobody's using any water, I'm assuming that just as an exercise that this meter has passed the water meter test. And it has not been determined 100% whether this is actually the meter to the residence. So even if I opened up another one and it was failing, I couldn't tell if it was failing to the residence. I can't make a positive identification to a failing or a passing water meter. So if somebody's using water, well, then that would affect it as well. That would affect it as well. So I'm going to move up the steps. These steps are not dimensionally uniform. These steps might be a trip hazard. These handrails are too low and they're not graspable. They're not graspable. So we're going to make our way up here without, busting our butts. And we're coming up here. This is the main water shutoff valve to the house. Alright. This irrigation box should be excavated and lined with gravel so it doesn't fill up with dirt like it is and damage the valve. And the valve handle itself, the valve handle is missing. So it would take a wrench to turn the water off. That's a deficiency. That's a deficiency. We're going to come on along. The doorbell's still not working. Coming on in. Coming on through the door that doesn't have the spring. For lack of a better opportunity, this is the closest exterior bib faucet to the house. Closest bib faucet to the house. We're looking for between 60 and 80 psi. Alright. Well, it's just the threads aren't real good there. We got a little over 60. Threads aren't very good at all. I got some pliers around here somewhere. Is that them? Yeah. Wrong pocket. And that's well, I got it tight enough. How about that? Just a little bit, excuse me. What are we looking at here? It's a little over 65. At least we got it tight. Okay. I'm not seeing any clean outs. I am seeing some clean outs. Aren't I? Did I not see a clean out over here? Not a main clean out though. I haven't found main clean outs to the building. I know that belongs to the building, I get it. But over here, while we're at it, kind of move up a little bit. As for the water heater, that's the temperature pressure relief valve drain line, and it discharges higher than 6 inches. And over here, in front of that tree, that's a swamp. We've got some kind of severe leakage. Something bad is going on over there. I don't know if it's civil engineering, draining, groundwater coming up out of the ground going towards the creek, water supply to somebody. I don't know if it's a drainage. And then up here, I didn't notice this before. Look at there. You think you got mice in your attic? Mice or roof rats or squirrels? Something big's crawling up in there, up in your soffit, that's for sure. Alright. That's probably what... See this drainage? See how dark it is? See those stains? Those stains are probably from animals. It could be from water. Something doesn't look right there. Okay. But we're still moving along. We're trying to catch some spares. This is the water heater. Water heater is supposed to be 16 inches up off the garage floor. It's not. It's resting right on the garage floor. Water heater is supposed to have a safety pan. It does not have a safety pan. The temperature pressure relief drain line, we already mentioned that drain line discharges too high from the ground. But inside of here, it's also supposed to have an air vacuum. An air vacuum break. It sure is. The water supply lines and the temperature pressure relief valve, they're supposed to be insulated. They're not insulated. We're not supposed to solder this close to the tank. Okay, your dip tube in here, it goes down, takes the cold water down here, and then the hot water comes up. You solder it this close. The dip tube melts, it falls down, then the cold water comes down to the hot water and it short cycles and you don't get all 50 gallons. It's a 50-gallon water heater here. 50-gallon water heater, and what is this thing? It's 9 years old. 9 years old. You know how long they last? They last about 10. They last about 10. See this little green screw right here? That's your grounding. So the grounding that bonds this tank is supposed to be tied to that screw on the top of the plate. All we know is that screw's there, and as long as that screw is there, as long as the screw that's there, as long as we can see the length of the screw that we can see, I doubt that there's a grounding wire attached to it. There could be. There could be. And then your main disconnect for the water heater would be over here on the electric meter. This kind of looks like termite damage right in here. I can't tell. It's been painted over. Okay, so let's go over here to the water heater. It's not labeled. We do not have a disconnect for the water heater. I know that we've got a disconnect for the water heater, but you don't know which one it is. You know, so what did we learn? We learned that we don't know which water meter we have. We learned that our main shutoff valve is buried and the handle is missing. We learned that we do not have an electric disconnect for the water heater. We learned that the water heater is not 16 inches off the ground. It does not have a safety pan. It does not have a care and use manual. We learned that the water heater is 9 years old and they last about 10. We learned that our TMP, again, discharges too high from the ground. We learned that it does not have an air vacuum breaker. We learned that our water supply lines to the water heater are not insulated. We learned that this pipe was soldered too close to the tank. TMP is not insulated. We have questions about whether it was grounded. And in here, we've got some unidentified organic substance. Alright, looks like we had a water event over here. Somebody painted over that and it came right on through. I'm going to never tell you that that's mold, that's mildew. Call it what you will. The Environmental Protection Agency says if it's less than 10 square feet to cut it out. Don't paint over it. Cut it out and replace it. Make it dry. You'll be fine. There's no sense in special testing or anything like that. You can. I would never dissuade my client from seeking perfection. I'm not telling you do not get it tested. I'm just saying that it's probably not very practical. Just take it to the dump. Dallas, city of Dallas is where we're at. They've got a toxic waste, a hazardous waste dump site that's free to residents. You just show them your driver's license card and they'll take it. No safety pan, like I said.